Hello global village neighbors! Because my creepy clown's hyperfixation is so huge, I started to desperately seek any information about this game. Most valuable findings comes from Neko Bueno Tumblr, the one and only game developer. Big shout out to that person's post, by the way. Also, Circus content, who, if you didn't know, gave amazing voices to all of our favorite characters. And most importantly, I studied TikTok rumors. That's what I reckon a full house. I'm not sure if Neko's Patreon have more info, but well, if you're watching this video, you probably played this game before. But anyway, let's make a quick introduce, because I love it so much. The Freak Circus is a strictly 18+ horror and romance visual novel developed by Neko Bueno / Garula / Neko Bueno Dreams. He is both programming and drawing the game. Can you imagine that? As far as I know, there are 3 in-game days planned in total, and the first 2 days were already out in 2025. The plot is indeed very interesting and complicated, with bright recognizable characters, dark circus atmosphere, and yandere themes. If you still haven't played it yet, I give you a few seconds to rush downloading it from itch.io, because this video is one huge spoiler. Okay, let's get started. I tried explaining some plots mysteries with theories of varying degrees of plausibility, and also there will be some facts that you might have missed. I really hope I'm not the only one here that didn't notice Pierrot's enormous shadow creeping at us through the cafe's window. Oh, look at him. He also leaves cute little hearts for us. Oh, that's so adorable. But yeah, he is literally following us everywhere. Thankfully or not. As an example, remember someone around the circus that really hates apples? Well, if Pierrot didn't throw a knife, we would end up being somewhere else in Harley Quinn's warm hugs. I know that you want to say something like, damn, I wouldn't mind it at all. But it just can't happen, because Pierrot is always watching. And he's really good at that. Makes sense probably, because he doesn't get distracted with talking. Okay. The next question is, why the hell did the lights in the cafe turn off? Neko confirmed that someone did turn off the lights. It wasn't an accident. Funny coincidence that we can hear Pierrot's bells the second before that happens, right? And if it was him indeed, I just can't understand why he would do that. Pierrot, you little freak, did you just wanted to see main character's scared face or something? And after that, he dares to just step in and stare at the knife in our hands carelessly as if nothing happened. Oh yeah, and those eyes in the darkness were mainly for atmosphere, although it would be pretty interesting if controlling shadows was Pierrot's ability. You know, with his performance at the circus. But that's not the case, and we will return to that later. If you want to talk about horrors, I genuinely love the symbolism of the paper flower Pierrot gives us. Like, it's a sweet, romantic action, but it mixes with realization that is covered in his blood. By the way, I really like how main character plays dumb, or does not give a fuck about that. And also, our poor little Pierrot didn't injure himself on purpose to do that. I guess that he got hit by someone again. I almost cried listening to this song. It really is a Pierrot's vibe, and we kinda see inspiration for the reason why he immediately gets obsessed with the main character. He has been always told that humans are the real wild monsters, and when he experienced kindness, not from his family, but from one of those cruel humans, his world shattered. Oh, such a pretty mask you have! You can blush? You can what? Summarizing this, we can assume that it is a mask, because we saw Harley Quinn taking it off, but we got no idea how the freak it works, considering that they have no problems changing their facial expressions, blushing, and even opening their mouth. I had a weak theory that maybe the mask was some kind of magical stuff that makes their feature human-like, but then I replayed that one moment in Harley Quinn's tent. And it's clear that we can feel his, funny parts even before he takes his mask off. So, no idea about that one for now. We can only assume that maybe it's human's flesh they eat that allows them to appear human. And if we started talking about looks, It's really curious if their body does have a human shape, because Neko often highlights that we will never see them without being fully covered, even in the summer. Okay, do you remember that weird taste MC have in their mouth after waking up? If you're curious about it, well, it's up to you to decide what the freak happened in there. And hear me out, I really want to smooch Pierrot, but I'm not sure if it's safe. Listen, I know it might be possible to get impregnated by them, but then we have that Q&A. And wow, exotic? So can we compare our clowns to fugu fish or something? I wonder if there's a way to cook them correctly. Okay, no, actually, I don't want to think about it. Returning to the question, Neko's answer doesn't necessarily mean that monsters are poisonous or something. I mean, if you eat human, you'll probably end up in the hospital too. But still, I'm kinda concerned if it's safe to kiss them or exchange any, body fluids in general. Guess that ain't stopping any of us anyway, right? When we wake up and get ready for work, we can get a lot of interesting info from TV. Let's see. A disappeared girl's belongings that are left on the bus station? Well, there's no way that this innocent Barbie court ticket has something to do with it. I think one of the reasons why Circus never gets caught committing crimes is because they always thoroughly study the place they're going next. Maybe they studied people's minds so well, they know how to make circumstances look natural. I can't even picture it, like...
Hey, you know my neighbor Alex?
Yup, I heard that they ran away with their lover.
Yeah, I knew it. I bet $50 that Carol is next. She has been beefing with her family for ages.
Obviously, not all of the circus guests go missing. Probably only ones that carry pink tickets are potential victims. We're going to talk about tickets later. What I want to discuss now is the food part, because I often see misunderstanding about that in TikTok. We know that if we eat something in a circus, we will, feel funny. And after we pass out, Pierrot will say that he didn't know that there was something in the food that day. And I think that is true. Yes, Neko did say that usually Pierrot is the one that cooks for everyone in the circus. But the thing is that we don't know who cooked that day. It may have been others who added something in the food. Maybe Pierrot was too busy, stalking us and didn't cook that day. Another thing that Pierrot is perfectly fine drugging us under certain conditions, but he's pretty obvious about it, unlike the food at the stall's case. Here, he's just as confused as main character, and I don't see any reasons for him to lie about that when he wasn't trying to dodge the blame with his cake. Did you know that Neko wanted to animate Pierrot's dance in his show, but sadly it ended up being a little too hard? That's a shame. I'm really thirsty for more Pierrot, but for now we already have beautiful animations in game. Alright, remember the talk we had earlier about shadow controlling ability? Someone actually asked about that, and the answer is nope. Speaking of the Pierrot show, that one is pretty obvious, honestly. Remember that rude customer Pierrot glanced at before leaving? Yeah, so this is the same girl that ends up being hand at Pierrot's show. We can see the same bun in her hair and her face once the mask breaks. Just wanted to say that in case someone didn't notice this. Like, I didn't notice a huge Pierrot shadow at the cafe's windows for like my first 3 playthroughs. Alright, about Cafe, how could we forget about our boss? I also have something to say about him. He's got very memorable appearance. Did you know that at first he was planning as one of the possible love interests? It's probably good for him that he got sort of cutted out, with those angry cats around. Wait, was it the cat who scratched the boss? Ah, darn it, Pierrot, you little possessive thing. By the way, I'm very curious how the scene might look. Probably very funny. For now, I think that choice doesn't change anything at all, but was intended to. Well, maybe it's better not to get too close with the boss anyway, if we don't want to get him killed too. One of the most mysterious places in the game is the Black Tent. Right now, there's no way of getting inside there. We can only irritate Ticket Taker with attempts and get a glimpse of what actually is going on. Ignoring some creeps on the background, nearby we see a column of waiting people. Or not people? Okay, theory time. We have Neko's words about hiding monsters and Jester's words about monsters hungry for blood. We can interpret that in different ways. Monsters who's hungry for blood means people who are ready to pay money to see violence, death, blood, bread and circus. Or it can mean local monsters communities that live at places the circus visits. Oh, and in that case, it gets so much darker. Maybe. In that sense, doctor can receive patients who, for some reason, cannot attend regular doctors. Maybe. In that sense, the circus sells meat. There's also a probability that gesture might mean both. Who knows? So, who are those fools? We can see that there are a lot of them on the streets. So far, we know that they can speak, and it seems that they do a flyer job, as well as checking tickets and leading guests to their seats. When we terribly crash into Carol and her mask falls off, we can see a weirdly still expression on her face, almost doll-like. The most curious thing is, of course, that mysterious purple glowing in her eyes. I've got no idea who represents purple in the circus and have a thing for control. Although I must say that I'm still uncertain about that color scheme. Neko said that pink is symbolic to the circus, and wow, if that doesn't sound mysterious. We know that Harlequin like pink ones, whatever that might mean, and that if we end up being in a pink tent, we'll get devoured. Also, can you see the way Pierrot is drawn here? His hat is missing one of the three tops. I don't know whether it means that it's not Pierrot, but some kind of his evil twin, or that's just a small accident. But I really enjoyed tweeting all of those TikTok rumors about that. If we did succeed getting Pierrot's attention, he will never let us in the pink tent. So it looks like the fate of those who happen to get in there is pretty rough. I can assume that only ones who fit circus standards, whether it's marital status and social connections or pretty appearance, might get pink tickets. Maybe Ticket Taker just walks around the town to give out pink tickets, like he did to us in the cafe. Okay, hear me out. We know that there's many colors of the tickets. Black, golden, pink, and ones that match every circus's member. We already had a talk about pink ones, and now it's only logical to assume that black tickets guests are not human and have access to the black tent. Not sure about golden ones though. Maybe it's just the regular tickets for guests who weren't marked as potential fools. Kinda sad for them. When it comes to our favorite clowns' tickets, we're still not sure why they exist. Also, just saying, I would really love to see the other side of the tickets. When I saw this, I thought that it must look very cute. As well as the tickets, we don't know what's up with that pin game Jester created. But I find it kinda cute that our guys always carries around these little pins. So what are those black lines we can see on Harlequin's chin and Pierrot's neck? There are theories that it might be scars, because Pierrot's lines are on the same place where his hair been torn off. Though I must say that I found chin to be a very unusual place for scars. Another theory is that it's actually how their real skin look like under makeup they do. If they can cry, then I think they can sweat too. Maybe their makeup ruins that way, revealing their skin under our gaze. Yeah, personally I prefer second theory. It's just too sad if it's actually their scars. What's the reason behind the rule of Pierrot being silent? I have a silly little theory that he has similar to Togi Inumaki from Jujutsu Kaisen power, but he seems to talk free alone with MC or circus members. I don't know, I just have a feeling that it's something important because Neko's answers is so sus. Also, fun fact, we can see a slight difference in menu from first version of the game and from latest. Maybe it doesn't even mean anything, but I find it curious that at first, Neko decided to draw such a complicated heart figure just to simplify it later. The one thing I really want to know is what does those names mean? If player doesn't type in the name, the game just automatically chooses those options for every pronounce player choose. My head explodes, but I couldn't find anything except for that ancient Greek myth about a girl called Mestra who gained ability to change her shape, turning into a male or even animals. And yeah, we also have Portuguese translator, but it's not very helpful. Okay, I really need to finish this video now. I feel like I'm already going completely paranoid and crazy at this point. Like, ooh, look at that cat. It's surely an Easter egg. It must be Neko himself. Oh, look. Pierrot in the main menu looks like he's trying to break the fourth wall. It surely means something. Actually, there is something I want to say before the end. I've already been in fandom that lost its continuation because of the author's burnout that some fans helped to cause. I don't want to say the same fate for the amazing project that I loved with all my heart. It may sound rude, but some people just crossed all lines with criticism. Neko is feeding us with huge amount of content while still working on the third day. Although negativity often has the most impact on us, I sincerely wish Neko the strength to overcome the challenging aspects of his game. Personally, I believe that you're on the right path. This game is your creation, and you have invested a significant amount of time and effort into it. It has brought joy to countless individuals around the world, inspiring them to create art, animations, memes, and fanfiction. Every day, I'm amazed by the impact that a well-crafted indie game can have. This game is a remarkable and captivating phenomenon. I hope that phenomena will continue to thrive for many years to come, bringing as much positivity to the creator as it does to its fans. Whew, I've never did such long videos before. Probably won't ever do that again. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about theories and facts, especially if I have said something wrong. Don't forget to subscribe to Neko Bueno and Darsuki. I highly recommend to watch his playthrough. It's a completely different experience with all Harlequin's and Pierrot's lines voiced. Also, quick remark, I created a YouTube channel not so long time ago, and for that reason YouTube doesn't let me to pin comments. I'll leave links in description. That sucks. I'll leave itch.io link where you can download the game in comments, so please, don't miss it. That's it. Until we will not see each other ever again.